Welcome everyone. So I'm here today with Jacques. Jacques is the CEO of Movim. Welcome, Jacques, to the podcast.
Yeah. Hi, how are you, Jeremy?
So, Jack, I'm very excited to have you on board today. We have like a pretty interesting topic that we want to, because
What?
you really specialize on the supply chain in the aerospace and defense supply chain. So, I want to hear a lot about like the feedback that you can share from this segment of the market. So, let's start with a quick introduction about like your background, just to explain like where you from, what's your background, and obviously like we're going to ask you the question about like how did you end up to create like a Movim.
Okay, perfect. First of all, I'm an engineer, and I worked 12 years for Bombardier Aerospace. I'm in the aerospace for 37 years now. Okay, I'm still young, but it's okay. 37 years, it's a bit long, but I used to work in the aerospace in development, also experimental departments, uh, also in engineering support between Bombardier and Airbus on the A330, 340 products. And after that, I quit Bombardier Aerospace, and I create my own engineering company. Okay,
Mhm.
and after that, after 9/11, I decide to sell the company, and
Mhm.
after that, I did some other mandate as a consultant in different companies, and also I worked as CEOs of manufacturing companies in the aerospace industry too. And 6 years ago, in 2017, I decided to create MoveNV. And MoveNV is mainly the goal of MoveNV is to get and manage excess raw materials for the aerospace industry.
Mhm.
Okay, and actually, we have about for $1.3 billion of inventory online,
Mhm.
and coming from 15 countries around the world. And we also have offices in US, uh, France, and Taiwan. And
Mhm.
actually, we're almost 45 employees.
Mhm.
And we mainly make business with big OEMs like Safran.
Mhm.
We did some job for Boeing, and we work for Pratt and Whitney, US, even in Poland. Also SpaceX, Sierra Space. Uh, my God, ThyssenKrupp, even TW Metals, major distributors in the aerospace industries, because they can use us because we're a neutral company. Then it means some of big distributor call us saying, "Hey Jacques, we need raw materials and we don't have it, but I know that my competitor has it, and can you buy it from them and sell it to us after?" So of course I can do that, and we can also provide that service, and we also have our home buyers. It means if you need any raw materials you're not able to find, we will find it for you. At 95% of the time, we're able to find the raw materials. Okay, it can be another distributors, it can be around the world, it can be another suppliers, it can be another OEMs, whatever. But we can find it.
Okay,
And
so let's try to. I want to try to back up a little bit. I want to start to try to better understand like how the job of supply chain manager or procurement agent is currently working in those OEM, in those tier one within the aerospace. How that job evolved, and how did they I mean, basically, like, why do they need like services like your company? How do you fit like within like the supply chain, and which help and problem do you solve for them, basically? If you can back up on that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. uh, we think out of the box. Okay. For example, a few years ago, Boeing Seattle called us, and they asked us if we were able to find a kind of raw materials that was a flat bar, and
Mm,
Boeing wasn't able to find it. And
mm,
finally, they asked us if we're able to find it, and we found a kind of bar, round bar in Ohio. Okay, and what we did, we forged it with a forge company in California, Boeing approved, and we delivered it. Okay,
mm,
and we did exactly the same with Eru DevTech. They were
mm,
looking for kind of flat bar, and we did exactly the same thing. And that's something that a distributor cannot do. Okay, or the it depends of the skills, because we come from aerospace. We we know how to build an airplane. Okay, and we also know where we can go and what we can do also. Because I was in the, like I said earlier, I was in the experimental department, and the goal of our department was to deliver parts very fast.
mm,
And when production was in problem to deliver an aircraft, we were involved to find what was the problem to deliver the aircraft. And we had to build components very fast, delivered. And I used to do that almost every day. Okay, because when a customer called me and he's in trouble, I have to find a solution for him.
mm.
Okay, and actually, because of the lack of buyers, of expertise of buyers, uh, that's probably another reason why they call us. Because at the beginning, Jeremy, when I create Moving B, it was mainly for SMEs, to help SMEs. But actually, we have more OEMs than SMEs. I talk about Spirit Aerospace, Aerosystems in Wichita, uh, even major distributors in Europe. Okay, and we bought titanium from Spirit to deliver it in France for big Airbus suppliers. Okay, and we used to do that very very quickly and very easily.
Yeah, and you say that basically like within the those OEM and those large companies, why there is like a lack of potential expertise on the type of components, on the manufacturing process, on the forging process, on that technical lack of the lack of technical expertise is basically preventing them to being able to be like a good problem solver and being able to find solution on alternative material, alternative vendors that could basically help them to solve the issue that they have. And the way that they're working is can you just describe a little bit like what problems, so I mean what's the way they're working, and what's the issue that that they may have in some case?
Actually, it's mainly the knowledge of raw materials. Okay,
Okay.
and also actually a lot of the company not able to find or define alternate raw materials. Okay, because in North America we can have a specific spec for North America, but you have exactly the same raw materials in Europe on another number or name. Okay, and
Mm,
we have to provide all those alternatives raw materials or substitutes. Okay, And also, what we decide to do, Jeremy, we create and we develop. Uh, I can say it's a buyer assistance, okay, virtual buyer assistance called Julie at Aero DevTech.
Mm,
Okay, and we will probably start another pilot project in Lycia Aerospace, France,
mm,
and another company in Taiwan. But actually, I can say you can hire a brand new buyer, and in 2 hours with our software, it will be up and running. You will be able to buy raw materials because the system by itself can communicate with your ERP systems, even your 3D models, or you can add the information manually in the system, and it will send RFQs to the right suppliers based on approvals, specifications, dimensions, and also quantity around the world. Okay,
mm,
and you will receive back quotations on the dashboard, and you'll be able to compare the system by itself. We compare all the quotations based on your RFQ because you can receive I don't know a flat bar at 2 inches thick instead of 1.5, and that could be good for you. Okay, we can accept it, but the system will tell you, okay, it's not the same dimensions, it's a bit higher, but the price is better and the delay is quite better. You can decide to buy it, even if it's not your dimensions. Okay, but the system will give it to you also, and at the end you can place a PO right away from the system, and the system will give all the information, the interface to your ERP systems, okay, to to create the PO inside your systems or whatever. Okay, everything is there, and it takes less than 2 hours to learn. It's very easy.
because basically, like the way you describe is that, I mean, if I just try to sum up and try to analyze the situation is that what you see is that you have within every large OEM tier one companies, you have procurement agent, I mean buyers that will basically, when they are sourcing their raw material, they basically have like a specific spec, but they are not so much trained on the manufacturing process or
Yeah,
any other type of uh, yeah, manufacturing process that they can change either like the shape, the dimension of a specific raw material to fit their specific requirements. So because they don't
yeah,
have that technical knowledge, they are uh, not going through all the potential supplier option that they could have, and by making sure that you integrate that manufacturing knowledge and engineering knowledge, you are able to provide alternative solution, both on type of changing potentially like the shape of a material, the dimension with some remanufacturing needed. You are able, and you manage to do that in a semi-automated way through the use of Julie, which is at the same time synchronized and integrated with both the ERP and a supplier database. That is
yeah,
that like the right understanding?
exactly. Exactly. We have a worldwide suppliers database, okay, and more than 2,000 different distributors around the world, okay, and it's updated almost every week, okay, and also what I forgot to say, Julie will provide you all the alternates raw materials, okay, and if you're not able to find what you need, or if the delay is too long or whatever, okay, this you can ask Julie to give you all the alternatives raw materials, and based on that, you will send RFQs to the suppliers for that specific alternate raw materials, and it's all automatic. You don't have to program anything. and everything is there. Okay, and the only thing that you have to do is decide if it's okay or not, because we cannot decide for them. But at the end, the system will propose them different solutions.
Do you take care of as well, like, because every, I mean, the qualification of the supplier, meaning like what standard they qualify on, um, which supplier belongs already to a specific OEM supplier
Yes.
list, like how does that work?
Okay. Normally, if you have approved suppliers, okay, for example, Pratt and Whitney, okay, and first of all, the Julie will give the buyer all the options for the approved suppliers, okay,
Mhm.
but it will also give a list of unapproved suppliers,
Mm.
and they can decide by derogations. They can decide to go with another company even if it's not approved. They can approve it only for one order. If it's an emergency, if it's an AOG or whatever, they can do it. We did it with Safran, okay, and but normally when we all of our list of suppliers are AS 9100 approved, okay, or EN 1000 and 9100 approved, okay. It's all approved suppliers for the aerospace industries, everyone, okay, because we have all their certificates, the expiration of their certificates, we have everything, okay. But at the end, if they're not approved, the company by itself can start the process to approve them,
Mm.
okay. But we will give them the possibility to buy from a non-approved supplier.
It's really like a help. The software is really helping the any procurement agent, procurement manager to basically have like a more type of targeted type of
Yeah.
solicitation of their supply chain, instead of like sending to everyone in a specific pool that match the criteria. You have like some kind of like qualification process in between that help them to only reach out to basically like only qualify suppliers, so that maybe like avoid the frustration between the two. That how does that work? Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, because it's an internal process. It depends of normally to approve a new supplier, it takes maybe 18 months to approve. Okay, it's a long
Yeah.
process to approve a new supplier. Okay, but at the end, when it's an emergency, they can make a quick audit of the supplier and approve him by derogation, but only for one order. That could be done very fast. Okay, sometimes it's inside 1 week. It's very fast to do, but it doesn't mean they're approved for all the rest. But they can stop after that the process to approve him. Okay, but that's what we can give, Jeremy. And today, even if it's approved suppliers, okay, I'm talking again about Pratt and Whitney, okay, because Pratt have their own suppliers, but the buyer or all the buyers doesn't know. Okay, this buyer is only for titanium bar or stainless bar at starting from 1 inches to 3 inches diameter. After that, they cannot provide anything. But all the buyers don't know that. It means they send RFQs to all their suppliers, even if the suppliers cannot provide them. But Julie has all their products. It means their supplier will receive RFQs only if they're able to provide it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because they have to manage a lot of different RFQs. There is a lot of back and forth between the company and the suppliers, because first of all, the informations of the spec, okay, there is a lot of mistakes. or lack of informations, or even for example, the dimensions, and everyone has to manage RFQs, and they say, okay, no, I don't have that product, no coach, no coach, but they have to manage it. But they won't receive any RFQs if they're not able to provide it. And that will cut a lot of back and forth between the company and the suppliers.
Mm.
And also the frustration, because there is a lot of frustrations with the suppliers, because they receive an amount of RFQs that they cannot provide anything on it.
That's basically like what you experienced previously that basically gave you the idea and to start your company and to solve that specific problem. That's how it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Because actually, the problem I had was, first of all, the excess raw materials in my companies. Okay, and when I was managing companies in manufacturing companies, that was our main problems. Okay, we had a lot of excess raw materials, and the delay, okay, to receive them was amazing. Because when an OEM asks you to quote on a project, okay, and you have, I don't know, 60 weeks or 60, even months, that can be, my God, more than 2 years of delay. It's a major problem for you, because you're not able to stop anything before 2 years,
Mm.
and you have to and based on that, in 2 years you have to keep your price, your manufacturing price. You have to keep that, and at the end you're not able to find the raw materials. But we are there to help, because we can also find raw materials only to support the delay for the new material, okay, for the new project. Because if they have, I don't know, 1 year of delay, and we can support them for 1 year, that would be great. We can support them, and they will buy them. They will buy their raw material somewhere else, and we will help them to get their raw materials for 1 year. And after that, they will get their contract, their LTA with whatever the supplier, and they'll be able to receive their raw materials, and everything will be set for their productions. But at the beginning, we can give a hand.
So a couple questions. How do you integrate with the supplier management system, for example? What's is there like a connection between a tool like yours and the software management, where you have like all the supply quality and everything? That's how does that integrate together?
Okay, actually, what we have is all, we don't have their inventory online. Okay, we only have what they can provide. But two major distributors came to visit us, and they said, we would like to connect live,
Mm.
and your customers will be able to see what we have in hand, what we have in inventory. Okay, and we can do that. If not, we will provide them quotations with delay. But if they want something, they will be able to see it right away in our inventory. Okay, and it's two major suppliers. They're ready to connect with Julie to have their online inventory.
And Julie is that like how do you interact with Julie? Is that um, more like form based, where you just get like a list of potential supplier after you fill like a specific form, and you give her like the specification of the material that you're looking for, the type of the description?
Yeah, yeah. What I can say, Jeremy, is first of all, Julie is a software. Okay, it's a cloud software that we can sell license. Okay, the customer with that license will be able to customize his company. It means its logo will be there, the name of their buyers, everyone will be there. I don't interact. MovingV doesn't interact into Julie. Okay, we provide the software. We can set it up for them, and they used it. Okay, and MovingV become a supplier has everyone. It means the
Okay.
Julie will interact with us to see if we have it in excess raw materials. If yes, we will provide it. We will provide the quotations, okay, to the customer through Julie, okay. But I won't interact in Julie. I will sell the product, and they will use it by themselves, okay.
Okay, so moving V is really like act like as a distributor that have like multiple suppliers, and
Yeah,
Julie is really like the integration or an artificial. I mean, I don't know how you want to call it, but it's the integration between like the direct integration between like the customer and moving V database to basically being able to automate the process of requesting new quotation, getting like delivery, passing orders, etc. etc. So that's really like this
yeah,
integration, right?
okay. Julie, it's a separate product of MovingV because MovingV is a marketplace, okay, for excess raw materials. But Julie is a different thing. It's a software, and it's a virtual buyer, okay, and we developed it, and we can sell it to our customers, and they will use it by themselves, okay. But Julie has its own major database, okay, and that database is updated by our team, internal
Mm,
team, okay,
mm,
and but also the customer by himself can create his own suppliers into Julie if he wants to, or a distributor can by himself make an update of Julie, of its products, or create a new company, a new distributors can, if he's not there, he can access Julie, and he can create his profile with all
mm.
its products also, okay. And but Julie by itself, it's a separate product, okay. And also in Moving V, we use it also because why we create Julie, it's because the lack of buyers, even for us, okay, even for us. That's the reason why we decide to automate
Mm,
what we used to do
mm.
and to provide it to our customers.
And again, like I follow up on my question about like generative AI. Uh, can that impact Julie?
We have AI inside Julie. Our CTO, based in Germany, is a PhD in AI, okay,
Mm,
and actually, we will have new versions of Julie. And Jeremy, I cannot say anything at this stage, but that will be amazing.
mm,
Amazing because we will introduce two new products into Julie, and that will help a lot the engineering for their design to choose
mm,
the right raw materials for their products. Okay,
mm,
and also to define the right manufacturing strategy, okay, with their design, even if it's sheet metal parts, machine parts, 3D printing, or whatever. The engineer by himself will be able to see in a couple of minutes is a cost analysis in production. After that, that will be used to define the make or buy. And easily, the system will be able to assist you, first of all, to give you all the cost analysis of the product, to challenge internally, or to challenge a supplier. And the buyer will be able, without having any technical skills, will be able to get all the cost analysis of the product. And Julie will send RFQs to the right suppliers able to build or to machine that part based on their equipment,
Yeah,
approvals,
you are really
facilities, and
using
also country.
you are really using like both like the automation, AI, and as well like a deep understanding of the manufacturing process of raw material, the estimates of those manufacturing time, cost, and everything into like everything is plugged together to basically help the procurement agent within those large corporates to help them job on they day-to-day job. That's
That
really
will
like
help. Okay, that will help. First of all, the the internal change board department, I can say change board, to define the make or buy. Okay, easily. Okay, because they will get all the informations, everything to take the right decision. Okay, and after that, all that data will be used for supply chains. They will get, first of all the alternatives raw materials. They will get also the the cost analysis. They will get the right suppliers to build it or to machine it, and they will get everything to to decide what will be the best suppliers easily based on delay and price.
how do you see the supply chain evolving like on the future, especially at the aerospace and defense supply chain? How do you see that evolving?
Oh my God. Actually, it's hard to say because it's already changed a lot last 2 years. Okay. And it's definitely the leg of expertise. Definitely.
Hmm.
A lot of expertise. We will lose a lot of expertise. Definitely.
Hmm.
And we have to support that. That's the reason why we developed Julie, to help companies to get a less impact on that leg of of expertise. Okay,
Technical expertise, right? Not like
technical.
procurement expertise. Yeah.
No, not procurement expertise.
Yeah.
Mainly technical expertise, but also with years, you're able to be a good buyer because you know your suppliers, and you know you developed an expertise of what who can do what. Okay, but when you're new, you don't have that expertise, but Julie will give it.
And that's basically like you see like a in general like a pretty important turnover within those companies with those procurement team changing company and losing. That's the big hurdle for companies in the supply chain, like the turnover of those procurement agent.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Actually, we talked to we went to Bourget in Paris last July, and we talked to a lot of major company saying that, my God, it's amazing. Actually, we lose our expertise, and
Mm.
we have to find companies able to support us. And I'm talking about saffron. Saffron
Mm.
said, my God, we're not able to find alternate raw materials because we lost our person.
Mhm.
and we're not able to replace him. And he's retired now, and we're in shit actually. And but that's what we provide actually. We're able to provide it. And Safran wants they want Julie, but I told them okay, but not now. I will start the pilot project with other companies because you're too big. You're too big,
Mm.
and it will take too much time to make tests. And actually, we are working with a major company also, but smaller, and that would be quite easier, and the result is already there.
So slow deployment process. How is your growth? I mean, you working a lot with obviously Canadian um, companies with the aerospace ecosystem in Canada, in the US, in Europe. As you mentioned, like
Mm.
some of the big aerospace companies there. You mentioned like that you have as well location in Taiwan. So how is your what is your vision and the growth that you the vision of the growth for your company? How do you see that?
Oh my God, we will get actually I can say where we have I can say more activities is in Europe actually. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, and honestly, I don't really know why. Maybe it's because of the Ukraine war or whatever. Okay, and it's very tough actually for them to get the raw materials. Okay, and in US, it looks. I think they're better than they're less dependent from Ukraine or Russia or whatever. Okay, but we have a lot of activities in US, but it's mainly in Europe.
Is that because the supply chain in the US is kind of like vertically integrated, where like you have like the raw material suppliers already like in the US versus like in Europe, maybe they buy from a lot from Asia, or is that what you see?
Yeah, yeah, because there is a major mills of raw materials in US. Okay, and they're more independent of Asia and Russia or Ukraine or whatever. Okay?
Mm.
That's the impact is less in US. I think, but we receive a lot of a lot of demands, but not like Europe.
Mm.
Europe is actually maybe the double of US.
Well, interesting.
Yeah,
And you say that some customers in the US um, don't necessarily check for um, raw material which are like in Asia or in Europe, like because you say like there's different codes and sometimes like buyers just stick to one specific code and just like therefore just check like if that raw material is available like within the country where I mean that code is issued. So for example, North America or etc. etc. Is that like a common practice, or it because it seems to be like a little bit pretty simple, right? That's just to check
yeah.
like the code of the same
Oh yeah,
material
yeah,
like in another country, right?
yeah, yeah. Actually, it wasn't a big practice because there was no problem with raw materials. Okay, and
Mm,
North America buy North America and Europe buy Europe. Okay, because of the imperial and the metrics mainly.
mm.
Okay,
Ah, okay.
yeah, but actually I can say there is a lot of demand for alternate raw materials, and it was and we receive a lot of demand saying, "Hey, if you can find this raw material, but also an alternate raw materials will be acceptable too, and provide it to us, and we will decide if we buy it or not." Okay, and it's I can say since for the last 2 years, I can say there is more requests asking for alternate raw materials. But it wasn't like that before. It wasn't like that.
And it's and when you see that, typically like when the customer come to see you, it's typically like because they have like a delay from their traditional supplier, which is like way above what is acceptable when there is a risk. So this is when most of the time they try to find like another solution,
Or they're not able to find it.
or they're not available. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And like again, Safran is our major customer in Europe. Okay, and it's amazing, Jeremy, to see how they. I cannot understand how come they are not able to find that raw materials. I cannot understand that.
Mm,
And I know that there is a lot of mills or distributors in Europe that they're not able to deliver into like another example I had yesterday. There is a major mills in Europe, and they're full for the next 4 years.
mm.
It's amazing. It's amazing. They're not able to provide anything to other customers. Anything. All their productions is already reserved for the next 4 years. It's amazing. Yeah, because of the production of the A320, the Boeing 737, it will be 50 aircraft per month. It's
Mm.
amazing. It's
So you say that there's like both like a need. I mean, because what I see like from your feedback here, if I hear for there is like obviously like a need of potential like procurement agent, because sometimes like those different issues that you're highlighting may be linked to the fact that there is not enough people, but at the same time you're saying that within the aerospace there is as well like a need of uh, new suppliers with very with for those raw materials. That's
yeah,
really, I mean, new certified suppliers.
yeah, yeah. We receive requests asking us to find brand new suppliers. And based on that, we will have to support the process, the approved process with them. Probably that's
Mm,
what we just did for a major company in Europe, but in the medical domain. Okay,
mm.
they buy a lot of titanium. Okay, for implants. And again, because of Ukraine and Russia, they're not able to buy any more titanium. And we developed for them a brand new supplier in Japan. And instead of 18 months, it took 6 months to approve. In January, they will be approved. And the medical domains in Europe will be able to buy from them.
Is there I have a question, is there like some cross industry benefits? I mean, does approving like getting like a raw material from one specific industry what that match like specific standard of one industry can benefit like another industry with similar level of requirement that typically specific buyers typically don't check, but there's like the same level of requirement on a different industry under a different name. Does that
Yeah,
exist, for example? Yeah,
yeah, definitely, definitely. In medical domain and aerospace domain is very close,
yeah.
very
In
very.
terms of
Yeah,
requirements, say yeah,
yeah,
certification. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And normally, major aerospace distributors also provide raw materials for the medical domain, definitely, because it's very very similar. The specs is very very close and similar, and that's the reason why the supplier we found in Japan was mainly in aerospace industries, mainly.
When you say the spec on for the raw material, what those specs looks like. I mean, I'm guessing that there's like obviously like dimension, type of material, and then it's more like certification of the manufacturer itself. Is that like all like, for example, ISO certification that we're talking about, or there is like, what's the difference between like medical device suppliers and I would say like aerospace? What's the
Oh my God, it's different. It depends of the kind of raw materials, because if we talk about titanium, okay,
Mhm.
or steel, okay, it's exactly the same specs
Mm.
as I say, exactly the same. But the certificates, okay, and you will get all the specs, because medical side has their own specs, okay. But on the certificates, you will see specs for aerospace, specs for medicals, specs for whatever the industry, but you will get different specs for that specific raw materials.
Which is the
It,
same. So basically, like
yes,
it's the same material except
yeah,
like it's listing under different
yeah,
spec depending on the industry.
yeah, exactly.
So if they don't have like this equivalent, or if they don't log this equivalent in the system, like a specific buyer is not able to identify that because he's not, yeah, he don't know the alternate of for different industry. That's
It
how it
does.
works.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And but the mill, when they produce the raw materials, when they provide the certificates, you can see all the specs that this specific raw material is good for. Mm,
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's really again the value proposition that you're on, where I mean an experienced buyer will know that he will be like technical enough to know like the difference and to have
yeah.
like the different
But,
tips.
but even a great even a good buyer with expertise, because sometimes you're not able to find that because the information is not there. Okay, but actually in Julie we have that information. We have it.
Okay, no, it's very very interesting. um yeah, just I'm very what's next with you in the upcoming, with your company in the upcoming months, weeks. What's the next big milestone that you have?
Okay, actually, like I said, we will introduce new version of Julie. Okay, and that will be in 2024,
Mm.
definitely. Okay, and I hope it will be middle of the year. Okay, but after that, we will have to promote it through a different show. We'll be at Seattle in March, and we will present it, and we will launch our video marketing videos this week on LinkedIn, and I will send it to you. Okay, you will have a better idea of Julie. Okay, and Julie will become our main project,
Mm.
and Moving V will be there, but only to manage excess raw materials, and we will become supplier for Julie.
Yeah, yeah, you putting like all the effort really on the development of this technology that kind of like try to automate the process and capitalizing on that technical learning on the decision maker of this supply chain project. No,
Yeah,
that's very very interesting, and I can't wait to see like the actual example of when you use AI and how AI can help on that, and talking with your virtual agent and being able to see like all the new result and alternate solution. That would be amazing to see that live in the future.
oh yeah, definitely. That would be great. That would be great.
How can people get in touch with you?
they can reach us on the web, Moving V, okay, and also they have everything there. We have only one uh, email address, okay, for everyone.
Mhm. Okay.
If use it, everyone on our companies will receive it, even in Taiwan, US, or whatever. Okay, everyone will receive it, and internally we coordinate who will answer it, or who will take it, the responsibility of that request or whatever. But everyone will receive it. The best way is via our website or LinkedIn. We do a lot of posts on LinkedIn, a lot of posts, and also shows. We're always at Bourget, or we'll be at Seattle in March, even Toulouse next year too. We're almost everywhere.
Sounds good.
Casablanca, yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jack, for taking the time today to chat and to share your expertise on the aerospace supply chain and what you're doing on the innovation. Thank you so much again for joining the show.
Thank you, Jeremy. Take care of you.